Should we believe the metaverse hype? Hey guys, how you doing? My name's Laszlo Bliss and this is my YouTube channel, Bliss Thoughts. If this is your first time here, I discuss technology, the potential and the impact, so the good and the bad. And today I'm going to be discussing the potential around the metaverse and also the challenges around this. So if you're into that sort of stuff, make sure you hit the subscribe button for more future content. So very quickly, for those not familiar with the metaverse, we can break it down into a couple of points. So firstly, the metaverse is always on and it exists in real time. Secondly, the metaverse spans the real world and the virtual world. Number 3, the metaverse is powered by a virtual economy. Not always, but mainly around digital goods and cryptocurrency. The metaverse allows virtual interactions and peer-to-peer interaction as well, and the ability to create your own presence, aka an avatar. Whilst it also enables people to well build and create user-generated content. But honestly, even with all this, we're still trying to define what the metaverse is. And this presents both an opportunity and a risk. According to experts, the metaverse use is only going to increase over the years. Gartner claims that 25% of us by 2026 will be replicating some aspects of our lives for at least 1 hour per day. Whilst investment giants such as Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs have labelled the metaverse opportunity as an $8 trillion opportunity. Whilst Accenture put it within a category of one of its 4 pillars in regards to future tech trends. Companies such as Gucci, Disney and Warner Bros are all investing. For example, a digital version of Gucci's Dionysus bag created for the Roblox market, which is another metaverse platform, sold for over $4,000, which, by the way, was more than the price of the real version. And looking at the spending of virtual goods, and we can actually see this transition already happening. As the current global virtual goods market size is worth nearly 32 billion, and according to Android market research, this number is looking to increase to nearly 190 billion by 2025. This traction within the gaming sector could signify a new era which is more focused on immersive spaces, which will eventually go into the retail, educational, sports, entertainment domains, and eventually beyond this as well. And you can see why. The metaverse gives businesses a very big opportunity, actually being able to display their products and give consumers the opportunity to get first-hand contact in an immersive environment. Imagine being able to go into a virtual showroom and try out that new car before you buy it. Imagine from a business perspective being able to get first-hand feedback from these consumers on what is working and what is not working on an early prototype. The possibilities are endless and will give companies the opportunity to not actually build these products but build them in a virtual space, which will save money. Maybe we can see why Mark Zuckerberg's Meta said the metaverse will be the biggest opportunity for modern businesses since the creation of the internet. Looking at the expenditure and the traction companies are going through, there is something real happening here. People are working towards this metaversian future. Did I just make that up?
I'll take it.
With this being said, looking at our tech habits, there is hints that we might actually be ready for this virtual space as well. Think back in the day to companies like MySpace. The focus on user-generated content was revolutionary, and this blueprint is the reason companies like YouTube, for example, are so popular now. This shift is perfect for the metaverse, and we can see the success already in gaming companies like Minecraft and Sandbox. And there is more to this too, especially if we're going to look at the psychological piece. After all, do people even want the metaverse? Is it something they would relish? If we break down the metaverse and what it offers, which is essentially a form of escapism, this can help us answer this question. When discussing the idea of escapism, it is something humans have been yearning and searching for since the moment we first picked up a book, to when we sat around a campfire with our hunter-gatherer peers looking up at the stars. We escaped from our surroundings and immersed ourselves in another experience.
A few moments later.
Fast forward thousands of years, and this is why we currently are addicted to our phones, social media platforms, and the internet. The memes, the information populated online, the pictures we view of our friends abroad in another country under the sun, the news articles detailing all the problems around the world. This all builds up an online presence which we are involved with, and one which, importantly, has all been created by us. A virtual, immersive, and fully interactive version of the online world would capture a large portion of the public, as it allows you to truly experience this with other people collectively. There is no need to hit the share button. You are already there in the same room, experiencing it together.
It's an interesting experience.
With that, haptic gloves and full bodysuits are soon to be coming to our shelves as well, which will allow a whole body experience within this virtual space. Now, this being said, the opportunity does sound appealing. However, There are some risks with this, as with any kind of emerging technologies. Can you imagine Mark Zuckerberg or the team at Roblox or Microsoft downplaying their idea? They're a business, they're naturally going to sell the idea. Though the metaverse is evolving rapidly, and if you've used VR related technology such as the Meta Quest 2, you will see the improvements. Even with this, it is still not at the level which we are being promised. Until this becomes a reality, it is all just hopes and dreams. Then there's the problem with the populace of the metaverse. Right now it is mainly filled up with early adopters, and there seems to be a lot of kids.
Okay.
And this is a big issue. The metaverse doesn't attract the everyday human. Its product, services and world will fail. We can look at our real world as a good example of this. Society wouldn't work if we just had kids running about shouting at each other and dressed in wolf suits.
What you talking about, Willis?
This is exactly the same with the metaverse. And this logic applies to all the 160 companies that are trying to create their own metaverse. Now, there has been some success stories such as Sandbox, which has been hugely popular within the selling and buying of NFTs, which can be nicely translated as digital goods or land, for example. But still, this is heavily reliant on the volatility of cryptocurrency and in turn provides an air of risk to the metaverse. Then there is the big challenge around the steep learning curve around cryptocurrency and buying NFTs in the metaverse. It is very confusing for a new person coming in trying to understand how to upload money onto their cryptocurrency account and buy things online. And although we are trying to smooth this transaction out, right now it is not user friendly. And if we're discussing cryptocurrency itself, there is a big challenge around this which could potentially make or break the metaverse. As all transactions within the metaverse are going to be governed by their own native tokens, we're still trying to define the regulations around this. But the harder these regulations turn out to be, the more difficult it will be for the metaverse to be successful. So there we have a quick overview of some of the challenges and things that need to be overcome and the risks involved with the metaverse. The question is, do the negatives outweigh the positives? Overall, the metaverse presents a big opportunity. Sadly, we can't predict the future, so anything can happen. But we can make a calculated guess. Companies are investing heavily within this, so there is a big belief within this area that it can be successful. And let us not forget that the investment currently going into the metaverse is just building the foundations for this. So what we're seeing right now is likely going to evolve and change. I think our addiction to technology is a big indicator that the metaverse will take off. If the metaverse is going to be the evolution of the internet, are you willing to risk missing out on such an opportunity?